Alright, so I'm always getting these comments saying, Majors, how do you edit your montage? Alright, I'm gonna show you. Well, the first thing you need to know is that SHAREfactory is shit. Alright, it's the worst app. It's awful. Alright, so I'll get to that in a second. But before you get into anything, you have to record the clips first. You get all your angles and you gotta know exactly what you want the content to be. And like, there's specific techniques for each and every angle that I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to get 2 clips, and I'm going to edit them like I'm editing a montage, but it's just going to be 2 clips. And then I'll probably go back in one of my older montages, or my newest one, and show you everything I did in order to make it look the way it did, especially in the intro. The intro took me a very long time. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. Alright, so whenever you get into your replay, the first thing you do is you want to get a good starting foundation. So you just want to get your perspective on the goal you hit, or whatever it is you're editing. Just your first person perspective, and if you don't have a replay system in your game, well, then this part doesn't apply to you. You should probably just watch the SHAREfactory part. So first you need your first person perspective, because that's like the root around everything. So I just hit this double touch, that's doo-doo. I just literally hit it now. So you get that perspective. It's a good root, like foundation and stuff like that. So now use the fun part. You get to use this. You get to fly with triangle. I'm not going to be going over how to like do all this stuff on Rocket League replays, because that'll just take too much time, and I don't have all day, brothers. Alright, so you just want to get it to where you're about to hit the double touch, or like leading up to it. And you want to get an angle that sort of covers everything, and then you hold square and you hit ball, because it'll trace the ball. And then it'll give you a nice angle of your double touch, right? Triple touch in my case. Alright, and then there's another technique I use, and this is specifically for whenever you're transitioning this clip into another clip. And what I like to do is I like to get, here, let's see here. I like to get my angle right in front of the ball, so that when I hit it, the ball goes straight into the camera. And then, right here, like this. The ball will go straight into the camera whenever I hit it, and then I transition into another clip with the ball coming from behind, so it looks like it's a whole smooth transition. So bang. Alright, and so after you did that, there's a few other transitions that you could look at. So one is, sometimes your edits aren't going to work with certain shots, in Rocket League especially, because your car or the ball doesn't do perfectly what you need it to do. That's why you can't do it on every single shot. So if my car sort of like dives out like it did right there, I can stop it right here, put it like this, and make sure that I have a good angle on the goal, but my car's still right in front of the camera, right? So then once you hit the shot and it bursts out and you go right into the camera, then you can transition it with your car instead of the ball. It's basically the ball thing, except for with your car. Alright, and after you do that, you need another replay, so that you can like the clip that you're gonna transition into. Alright, and I'm recording on a little amount of time right now, so I'm trying to get it all out there real fast. But it should be a little bit longer of a video, because I have a lot to get off my chest, because I have a lot of complaints, as you'll see whenever we get into the actual SHAREfactory. Alright, so you want your bulk of it. First off, your player view. And these are literally just some doo-doo clips I just hit now. Like, just now. So, I don't think that these are going to be in, like, a montage or something, because they're probably not. Alright. So, since we got a close-up of the ball last time, we can get a close-up of the ball this time, except for it will be going forwards. None. So that it doesn't follow it. And then you go like this. And this is all like your guys' choice, your style of what you want to hit, and like what you want the final product to look like. Alright, so that was the ball, and now we can do the car. And I'm sure once I'm done editing all this and you see which one you like more, that you can just go on with that and maybe even add on to it a little bit. Alright, so we got our bulk, we got the car. You can get an aerial perspective if you'd like, but usually the transition into that covers it. Alright, so now basically what you want to do is you're going to just go into SHAREfactory, but I can't record that because PlayStation doesn't allow you to record your home screen, so I'll see you guys there. Now once you're in SHAREfactory, you'd always want to start a new project unless you like made an intro for this specific thing, and then you can if you have the intro, you can just add it into the project you already have. I always choose Rocket League just because, you know, it is Rocket League. So, alright, and then I'm going to take all these clips that I just got now. So I'm going to start it. Now, I can't make it full screen, so just know I wish I could, but I can't make it full screen. Alright, and everything is going to be backwards, so this is the last thing I did. Alright. And I don't need this, this is just like the commentary. Alright. So we're gonna bring the last clip to the front. But I think the last clip is just me going over everything. Alright. We're gonna bring this clip to the front. And it's just one clip because it has everything I need in it. So alright, first we start off by getting the bulk of it. And you can start it wherever you want, but most people like it right next to like where you hit the goal. And also my stupid ass voice. So you gotta press square, go to clip volume, turn it all the way down so that nobody can hear your ugly ass voice. Alright. Select, apply to all, confirm. Alright. And now I accidentally hit home screen. Hopefully it didn't cut out any of my voice. So I hit the double touch, whatever. Alright, and then I go out a little bit. Alright, and usually it doesn't really matter if you have the aerial perspective in a certain way, but usually I like to have mine before, or if it's a transition clip, it'll already be before. This is me just explaining probably. No, I'm getting the ball. Hopefully this is will allow me to record because I'm going to be pretty jacked whenever I can't edit it later. Alright. Alright, so you get the aerial clip. You going up like that. Bopped it. Right? And then we stop that there. We can move this clip over. You do that by hitting square. If you hit square, it's sort of like to adjust everything and like fine tune, like edit everything that's in there already. And then if you press X, it's adding things. See, like everything says add. That's a way to know. So it starts. It'll start like this. You hit the aerial, and it's sort of like a preview to what's about to happen. And like I don't like how long that went on, right? So you can trim clip, and you press R1 to go back. It's a little bit different, and it takes a little while. So you just gotta hold it a little bit, and then your clip will be shorter at the end. And then you'll have the bulk of it, and I'll add a song here in a second. I just don't want it to go over my my voice. Alright, and then the transition clip. So for these, I line it up with the ball here. Alright, so for these you want to like cut it like right here. It'll be a good transition. And then you let it play a little bit, and then you stop it right when it's about to hit. And if you use the D-pad buttons, you hit right on the D-pad, it goes frame by frame, and you want to go until the ball disappears. So it disappears there, so I'm going to go back one to where it was just about to hit, so that way it'll look like it's a smooth transition. Alright. See. Did I not get the car one? I don't know. Alright, we'll just do the ball one for now. And if you guys want to really see the car one later, then that's fine. Alright, we're going to get the bulk of this one first. Go back a little bit. My camera settings are doo-doo, so we'll start it right here. So it'll look like this. Bang. Alright. Did I get anything else here? Maybe this is where I had the... No, it's not. Okay. Okay, I probably missed it. It's okay though. The car one looks exactly like the ball one, except for with the car. So, I guess you'll see which one you like by yourself then. Alright. Now we're gonna go ahead to where I got the ball, because I didn't do the car. Okay, I did the ball before the car, I remember that much. Am I gonna do the car here or the ball? I'm doing the car. A little bit back further. Alright, yeah, so the ball's right here. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Right there. Alright, and then go until you hit it in. Bop. And I move my camera backwards a little bit, and you don't want to see that because that's like unprofessional. So you get that. And then you'd move it over here. It's not playing for some reason. So now that we've done that, we should probably do it over music. Actually, this might be where... Is this where I got the car? Yeah, this is where I got the car. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if I can get this for you. Alright. I also like these ones because it shows the shot pretty well right before the transition. Bop. Okay, you do the same thing with the ball. You just gotta like edge it back. So I mean, you're barely through the car here, so it doesn't really matter which one you do. Alright, so you know what? I'm just gonna delete these. You've already seen what they look like. And I'm just gonna add the ones with the car. And here's a little bit a little trick, so you don't have to go back into your replay to find what you were looking for. You can actually just trim this clip. And I believe it was after where I got the car view. Until I see it. Ball there. And then car here. Alright. So now I know it's going to be at the very end, and I can just cut this right here, something. Alright. Now I can go to the end where I know I got the car view. Alright, actually that was probably perfect right there, yeah. That's probably good. And then goes in. Okay. Actually, I should probably cut it. I'll just trim it a little bit. It shouldn't be that hard. There you go. That's probably fine. We'll move it over here. Perspective of how I curved the ball in the air dribble, but yeah. Rocket League terms if you don't know what those are. Alright, so now we're going to add music. So the way I add music is I hate the SHAREfactory music that they give you. So I actually go on my computer, I get a USB, and they like to make it the hardest thing possible for you to import music. So whenever you're in your computer and you have your file, you got to name the USB SHAREfactory, right? Just one folder has to be named SHAREfactory. You can see it right there. And then you got to make a subfolder in that called music, right? And then you got to drag it to there. And you have whenever you import music, I sort of did this backwards, but you have to go on YouTube, find the music. You gotta copy the whatchamacallit. Whatever. Okay, you gotta go into YouTube, find the music you want, copy the link, and then you have to go on YouTube MP3 converter and paste the link there, and then it'll convert it into a video for you. So yeah, it's a lengthy process to get music, but it works. So alright, so now we gotta decide what music. So I got a few here. These are all Rocket League's pre-ones that you get. Alright, so I have Blue Skies, which I just used for a montage. I have Broken Wings. I don't know about that one. Fly With Me. Yeah. Alright, I think we're just gonna use Fly Away. Alright, we're just gonna use File Away, and we're gonna get to the peak of the music because I don't really have time to edit a whole montage here. Yeah, so right there. But we're gonna go a little bit before that so we have a little bit of build up. And we're gonna do it whenever I transition, and I think I actually deleted the transition, so let me put them back in real quick. Alright. I think I got it. Alright, so you see how it was a little bit too far behind there? So that means I'm just gonna have to add a little bit more music. And I'm trying to get it on the transition so that the drop hits it perfect. Alright, let me edit music. And alright, here's another trick. Because you can't move the music forward whenever there's not enough clip to cover that music. So you gotta add a really long clip, or you gotta just delete the music, which I don't like deleting the music. So I'm just gonna add a clip that's pretty long. 3 minutes, whatever. I think it'll cover. Yeah, alright, so then you gotta edit music. You gotta move music, move it up. You know, we're gonna do a little trick here. I'm gonna go right to the bridge and stick it right in between so that I know. Verse out. Okay, so you see how I was a little bit behind? Verse out. Alright, so there's where the bridge is. So now you're gonna move the music on the bridge. Right there. Like where the beat drops. And you're gonna move it perfectly in between. Oh, I mean, I guess you could pick either one, but I like the one before because it adds a little bit of a, I don't know, like effect to it that the after it doesn't. So we're gonna actually trim music. Oh shoot, you know what? Shoot. Alright, we're gonna have to do this again, but it's okay. You gotta be really patient with this stuff too, so don't expect to be here a few minutes and get a nice montage out. It's not gonna work like that. And it will be way different if you're editing a whole montage, because I wouldn't have to do this, you know? I would just have to put all the clips in, start the music from the beginning anyways, so there's no lining things up. It's just because I'm doing 2 clips. But if you're doing like a GIF or something, or just like 2 clips you hit, then you're probably gonna have to do this. It's just something you have to do. Alright, just for time's sake, I'm gonna cut a little bit more than I probably should. Actually, you know what? That might be fine. Alright. Music. Alright, we're just a little bit behind, so I'm not gonna be able to do it the way I want to. Alright, we're gonna call that good. Okay, perfect. So now the music is all synced up. Alright, and there's like a little preview to what you'd probably get. Something like that. But at the end, you'd probably want to export it to gallery, which I'm not going to do because then I can't record what I'm saying. So instead, I'm going to just do it by hand. You want to add a filter. And the filter that usually works for me is Dreamy. So you're going to add Dreamy on all of them. And it's going to look a little bit saturated in the beginning. It's like too dark. But don't worry, I have a remedy for that too. So stick with me. Stick with me. And you want to do this all after you're done with the montage, because then it's all one long clip, right? And then you got to edit filter settings, and I find 45 is just perfect because it gives a little bit of color but not too much, and it looks like professionally done, sort of. And yeah, so I've been editing for 2 years, so I just pick up on all this stuff. And I'll show you another thing that like emphasize the beat drop. You could also add a different filter where the beat drop hits. Like fine, here, this is where it hits. So we're just gonna make this one different. We're just gonna make it gray. All right, it's just gonna remain the way it is, just because it's different. It's the beat drop. All right, and on the beat drop, you always want to have like a little bit of emphasis. And what I like to do to emphasize the drop is you add an overlay and you go to camera effects. And camera effects like move the screen up and down with everything. And heartbeat is usually the one I go to, but you gotta set it to 1 second or else it'll beat too many times. Alright, so I'm just gonna play it from this clip. And if you want to, on the whenever she hits that high note, you could do Quake, but Quake is super powerful. And she said 3 for like 1.5 seconds. I'm not gonna time it like I would in a regular montage. It's super powerful, so you want to tone it down to like a 0.1. You see, it like goes along with the song, and it's all about like if you have a good song and you base it around your montage, it makes it like 10 times better. Alright, so now we're gonna go into a different replay of an actual montage I made, and we're gonna see all the tricks I used. Alright. So we got the new montage, my 200 sub montage. And I always liked the idea of an intro where your name is in the front of the car. So I tried to do that, but the thing is, like, whenever you have to line up stuff in SHAREfactory with just words, it doesn't really work unless you take every single letter and align it perfectly with the background thing that you're trying to line it up with. So you see how it says my name right there, Majors 37? It doesn't show it in this replay, but because I exported it to gallery, so it won't show it. But I took all the overlays, right? I took every single one, text. I did this text right here, because it's like the cleanest one. And I made it an M for majors, right? And then you transform, and I actually shrunk it down. Oops, that's making big. You had to shrink it down, bring it back to like the size you wanted. And you can move around with the D-pad on this. It makes it a little bit easier. And then I aligned it with the car. So then once I aligned it with the car, I realized, well, this doesn't match the car. It sort of looks unrealistic to have a super white M on that car. It doesn't look like it'd be there. So you have to go to text effects. And I chose this one. And you see how it looks different than all the, it looks sort of different than all the other letters. That's because I added a filter over it beforehand. So I'm just going to delete this text. This is also a really nice filter to use. I have it right here. It's called Wind. Oh, 1 second. Edit filter. Filter settings. Okay, it doesn't tell you. Oh yeah, it's called Wind Speed or something like that. So I'll just add the filter to show you guys. It's this one. It's called Wind, but it's toned down super like far down, so that it just makes the words look like they're like, I don't know, like blowing in the wind, I guess. So you confirm that, and then it sort of looks like that. It makes it look a little bit more epic, and then it shows my name. And then right here, I used this transition. You go to add transition, dissolves, use the blur fade, because it blurs everything, and then it appears within new words, so that you don't have to like change them and make it really like a sharp transition. Yeah. Alright, and right here, I didn't, before I even put in the thanks for words right there, I had to go all the way up here, right here, and look where the white stream was, so I knew where I would have to cut off the words. So look, thanks for, and immediately when my car passes it, the thanks for is gone. And since it was so fast, people don't really realize it. And then the 200 subs appears right after the whatchamacallit. The 200 subs appears right after the stream goes by, so that people don't really realize it, and it's a message, sort of, you know, without cutting off the words too much. Alright, and then I just had this because, you know, well, this cinematic was pretty good. I just went into my, I went into a private match and set my car to black, like everything to black, so that it looked pretty cool right here. Like my car isn't like radiating a color. But that's like completely stylistic. You can do whatever you'd want with that. And then I have a preview of the clip. And I use the song to my advantage here because it said blue skies. So like the cinematic here, I used a filter called Neuer. Here. I'll try and find it here. It's down at the bottom. It's called Neuer, right? And if you want any color to show through, you have to edit filter and go to the hue, and you put it up, and it'll go through all the colors. And then I just put it on the deepest blue I could get. And it makes the montage look super artsy right there. And then once the song starts kicking off and speeding up, I used a transition into the actual montage, and then I can just start editing my clips instead of an intro. Step out of the shadows and walk into the light. Yeah, it's gonna be blue skies. And that's how I did that. I used a little bit of a blur fade too here, so it wasn't completely blue. Alright, and then I used the beat drop to my advantage there and synchronized it with the goal being scored. So instead of it being completely gray here, I used Neuer again and made it blue to pop. So it'll pop out whenever the bass hits. So now that we have the intro, I'm going to be getting into the montage and all the techniques I used to do the actual montage. Alright, now this is where sort of I get into earlier how I hated SHAREfactory and it was stupid. And mostly it's because this. Whenever you split a clip like this, you can't go 1 second ahead. Like if you wanted to split a like millisecond clip, which I always want to do because it's like fast-paced montages look the nicest, but instead you have to wait a whole second, and some songs just don't allow you to do that with the way they are, like how fast they are. So you can't do it with just 1 second. You need a little bit less than a second. So I will show you a technique I use later to get them all down to less than a second, or like real quick flashes of letters or whatever I want in there. So I'm gonna add this filter back so it doesn't look trashy. It was dreamy, and then edit filter settings 45. That's like the golden ratio right there. All right, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, right here. So, okay. So here's how I do this. So whenever you're in here and you're looking around on the bottom screen where all the little color strips are, there's certain colors that are darker than the other ones, and that's where the beat is, like the hit of a drum or percussion sound is. So once I see this little dark purple right here where I'm over, this little dark purple, that's usually where the drum hits. So I put a camera. Yeah, actually you can see it at the top left of the screen. It's glowing right there, and if I want to edit it, I have camera settings. I can edit it if I want to, but it's just a heartbeat, so that whenever the beat hits, it goes with it. And then there's a better example that I use over here. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, it's right here. Walk into the light. Yeah, it's gonna be blue sky. Alright. And now one of the things I actually like about SHAREfactory, and I think they did pretty good, is with these beats, you can actually overlap them so that you can have less than a second in between. And if you have like a lot of time, and if there's like a really harsh thing in your song, it's like going crazy, you can add an overlay and you can go to camera effects and you can hit stomp, and then you can whatever, it's at 50 right now. You can go up literally one frame, and then add another one. One frame, 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 add another one. And so on and so forth. I'm just going to do a few more here just to get my point across. Because some songs like to have like a really heavy beat drop, and like the Quake can't keep up with it sometimes, so you need something a little bit more like frantic. So this always works for me. So yeah, you see right here, you can even notice at the top of the screen where it's pulling down with a stomp. And if you get a bunch of those in a row, it looks pretty cool with whatever you're hitting, or like whatever your song is. It looks pretty nice with it, I think. A little bit better than the Quake, which is this. Quake. I'll just put it to 1 second here. And go down to 10. Because the Quake's sort of uncontrollable. It like has like a fluctuation to it. I don't know if that makes sense. But the Quake's still nice. It shakes the screen around, but like if you want like a heart, like a beat to it, then you'd probably want to use the stomp. So yeah. Any other things? Oh, I do have. I'll show you how I do the slow motion thing. Do I have it? Okay, I don't know if I really like this clip, but I was just trying this technique. Yeah, I don't like that. That doesn't look smooth at all to me. So maybe if I added a transition, but sometimes you can't. Alright, yeah. Alright, let me see if I can find one that's slowed down. If I can remember which one it is. Okay, I know I have a clip slowed. Okay, right here. Alright, so before we get into the slow part, you have to record the bulk of it, right? And you have to do it in Rocket League. You have to record it at 100 speed the whole time, the whole way through. And you want to get a little bit extra time after you score the goal. It's very important. And then you have to hold X in the game and make sure that the time is set to like 25%. That's what I like mine. And then it's slower, and you got to make sure that it's player view for both of them, so that the frames don't shift around. And then once you get into SHAREfactory, you have to get the clip of the slowed down one, and then the clip of the faster one. And with the faster one, you have to cut it where the slowed down one starts, and then you have to cut it where it ends, so that it melts perfectly together, and it'll look. See how the frame didn't like shift around there, and I didn't go a little bit too far with the whenever it transitioned from slow to fast. So that's sort of how I do that. I don't know if I explained that very well or not, but that's how I do it. And I have one sort of other thing I'm gonna do before I get into the last little details of how to edit. So this, I'm just gonna delete the music for this because you don't really need the music for this. No, not edit music, delete music, confirm. Alright, so this has to do with the transitions. So let's say I have a clip right here, and it's going, and I sort of want it to stop right here, and I want a different clip to go for like a second, right? Well, you can't do that with SHAREfactory because the transitions say they take up too much time, and they won't allow you to do it. So you got to cut it a little bit extra if you want that transition, and then you got to like cut the next clip, make it pretty big, and then where you stopped it before, right here, you would add a transition. And let's say you wanted here's one that I actually did want to try that wouldn't allow me before. I wanted that, and then I'll put a transition at the end of this one. Alright, so before you weren't able to do it because the clip was too short in the middle and it wouldn't allow you to put in the transitions. But once you have the transitions in, it doesn't really matter how short the clip is, because I guess whenever SHAREfactory made it, they overlooked this step, because you can trim the clip all the way down to what you want, just flashing. Alright, so let's say I just want this flashing and it's like 1 second long. And then the transitions will actually affect it and it'll only be there for like a millisecond. But like if you wanted a transition to look like that, you can replace these, replace transition with like a blur. And it sort of won't look cool, but I'm sure there is a transition out there that looks pretty cool with it whenever the clip is pretty. Actually, that looked pretty decent with the blur like that. But I have one more technique that I'd like to show you guys. So you know how I do my intros and you know sort of how my montages are formatted. But now I gotta show you how to cut a clip. I gotta show you how to cut a clip that's shorter than a second. Alright, and the only time I think I've ever done it is in this montage. I did it twice. Whenever the song goes, "This is war," I sort of cut it to fit that scheme. So the best one I have is towards the end here. Oh, and I also, there's one thing before this actually. Right here. I obviously synced all the heartbeats to the song. And then I put the words to the right of it. And the words are a little bit different because whenever you put words in, here, maybe it's in this. I don't even know. It's not. Oh, it is. No, it's not. Go back a little bit. So you'd add it text to say I wanted to say my name for like a second or something. Majors 37, and then it has the text duration up there. You could do it that way. I don't like doing it that way. And whenever you do that, it sets you all the way back to the beginning for some reason, which is another complaint I have with SHAREfactory. So you see my name there, flash for a second. So you can edit overlays, go up to majors, and then you can go to text duration. So like you can affect it, and you can see where it ends exactly. Like say I wanted to stop there, then I just click X and it'd stop there. So that's how you do that. And then the last thing I want to show you guys is this little part. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. This little part right here, this three second clip took me 30 minutes to an hour to make. And that's because they're all less than a second together, and it matches the beat really good. So that's the only reason why I did it. But it looks so good whenever it comes together like that. So here, let me play it for you with the song synchronized with it. Can't get enough Alright, and I can show you how I did that. But it takes a long time, guys. And I mean, it takes a while. And I honestly don't have the time for it, so the best thing I can do is describe to you how I did it. And here, I can probably do it with one clip. Let's see if I can get one clip to do it. And mainly, how I do it is with, 1 second, let me get the new project in. Alright, we'll just do this clip right here. This is the clip I want. Alright, let's say I just want this to flash for a millisecond. Edit clip volume and go all the way down just because it annoys me to have my voice there. Alright, I want this clip to be a second long. So, or less than a second long. To flash like that. And just making it less than a second is hard. But whenever you have a song and you're matching it to the beat, it's even harder because you gotta remove the song and like morph it to the song every single time you go back in. So the thing I do to make them less than a second is I actually export them to gallery whenever I have the clip that I want to be less than a second. And the way I do it is I'd probably delete this right here. I'd add a clip in front of this one, right? Because this is what I want to be less than a second right here. And it's not really anything special here. I'll make it so that it's actually a cinematic view. I want it to be this clip. I want it to be that long, right? So then I'd put another clip in. Add clip. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be even this SHAREfactory thing. Alright. And the reason I'm doing this is because whenever I export it to gallery, it's gonna make it a full. It'll make it all one clip instead of this little thing being here, them two clips not together. It'll make it a single clip, and I can actually cut it right here where I want it to be cut, and then later, after I have this little clip done, I can go back and take this off. So I gotta export this to gallery. Alright, and I exported it to gallery, and I'm gonna exit without saving. It doesn't matter if you save it, because now you can do a new project, and you can go into the one you just saved, which is this. And this is where you want this little clip here to be just like barely any time at all. So right here. So let's say you want like 3 frames of it, like 1, 2, 3. All right. Then you can. I'll do 4 actually, because 4 will be a little easier. Then you do that, and you can delete this. And then the next clip, like say you want it to go to another clip. Let's just add another Rocket League clip so it looks nice. By this one. Whatever, I don't think I actually do anything in this clip. I think I just talk. Oops, nah, that's the volume. Sorry if you're not keeping up, I'm just sort of going through quick fire right now. Alright, let's say this is another clip in your montage that you want to transition into after this little 3-second clip. See how it's like 3 seconds, right? Like barely anything. So then you got to export this. Alright, now that you export it to gallery, exit without saving, new project. This way you're not like going through tons of projects just to get one single clip. And then you go in here, continue. And you would have to go right when the clip starts. It's like 3 frames long, right here. Or maybe I don't remember how I do this, but I'm just gonna do it right here instead. That's what literally makes like my montages different from everybody else's, is that the small little details are hidden throughout like all my montages, and nobody else really knows how to do them with these techniques, because I've been editing for 2 years on here, and I've been figuring out things that other people just haven't figured out yet. So I hope this video helped you, especially if you're editing on SHAREfactory and you want to know how to edit montages. But if you want to see how I edit my funny moments videos from a while ago, I'll make another video on that. Just leave me a comment, I'll read it, and I'll probably make another video on editing. But most of my videos from here on out are going to be Rocket League and streams and stuff like that. So I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Hoping to get to 1K. I don't know. Let's try to get it by the end of the year, I guess. So I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed, liked, hit the bell, and I'll see you later. Peace.